So Rabbi Elimelech of Lezhinsk is now going to take these holy words and help us protect the windows to our soul in the case where a person is trying to purify themselves, but either they have so much garbage from the past still in the system, or they accidentally run into it. What do you do? How do you guard your eyes? How do you guard your soul? If a person accidentally sees something indecent, God forbid, such as animals or birds mating, or hand's breadth of a woman's hair or skin that should be covered, or one's wife when she's in a state of nidah, of impurity, or similar things, you should immediately recite the verse, do not follow your heart, so as not to defile his mind, God forbid. So what happens if it accidentally happens, where he sees something indecent? Sometimes a person doesn't actually know the definition of what indecent means. There are plenty of people that are walking around thinking that they're perfectly modest, even though their behavior is like animals. They may have modest clothes, they may cover their hair, they may wear a shtreimel, they may dress perfectly righteous, but their behavior is literally no different than an animal. In other cases, there are people that walk around thinking that they are modest, or they'll wear their kisui rosh only on part of their hair, because they figure that they like this part, this ponytail they have, or they don't necessarily need to cover everything. Nice people, wonderful people, but as far as following the halacha, not so much. V'nishmarta mikol davara. The sages taught that in the verse, that you shall beware of anything evil, is referring to things that a person would see and would end up bringing immoral thoughts to their mind. Go to the Rambam, Halacha number 18, he talks about how it's forbidden to waste seed, it's forbidden for a person to engage in relations with even his own wife in the public. You have to be moral, you have to be modest. It's forbidden to do a lot of different things that unfortunately today have become a norm. But here there's one thing that the Rambam says that I can assure you many people don't realize is even forbidden. One should not look at animals, beasts, and fowls, time males and females are coupling. Why? Why is this forbidden? For the same reason that the Rambam says that it's forbidden for a man to look at a woman while they do laundry. Even forbidden to look at the colored garments of a woman that he knows, because it'll bring these thoughts to his mind. And it's the same thing that it's forbidden for him to look at his own wife in a way that's permitted when she's pure, but when she's not pure, because these will bring thoughts to the person's mind. That whether he's looking at animals, or birds, or even a woman that's not his wife, or even his wife when she's impure, or anything that's similar. Not only has he done something that's forbidden, but he has put himself at risk. He has endangered his holy of holies. And the reality, Rabotai Karim, is that the Torah is telling us that protecting our eyes is protecting our neshama. And if a person wants any chance whatsoever of ever being holy, it all begins with the eyes. Because if you can protect your eyes, you can protect your brit, you can protect your kedusha, you can protect your mind. But if you don't protect your eyes, it's impossible for you to ever arrive at holiness. Do not follow your heart. And you should not converse excessively with the woman, because you may ultimately come to perform an act of lewdness. People that have friends or colleagues that they become friendly with of the opposite gender, they're asking for problems. All you gotta do is look at anybody that you know that's divorced and ask them who committed the adultery and with whom. And you'll find out it's always the friend, it's always the colleague, it's always the platonic relationship. that turned into atomic. If a person saw it by accident, immediately they should say to themselves, this verse that we say in Shema Yisrael, do not follow after your heart. Why? Why do not follow after your heart? Why the heart? The heart is referring to the imagination. This is a dangerous place. Once a person looks at something for long enough, which could be literally as much as 2, maybe 3 seconds, it's not the first look, it's usually the second look, the turnaround one, the one that where you're already looking at the person, not just they aren't in your line of sight. At that moment, your mind starts transferring the information to your imagination, to your heart. And the longer you look, the more fuel you're giving to your imagination to think more and more things. And if you're looking at something inappropriate, the outcome is going to be inappropriate. Even if you're looking at someone that you shouldn't even be attracted to, whether it's a relative, a colleague, someone that's married, your best friend, whoever it is, the more you stare at someone, the more you allow the mind to imagine. If a person avoids sinning and overcomes his evil inclination 2 or 3 times, then the Holy One himself will guard this person from then on. As the verse says in the book of Job, chapter 33, verse 29, behold, God does all these things twice or thrice with a man. Meaning, after you've overcome this obstacle on your own 2 or 3 times, Hashem will start helping you overcome it. But not until you help yourself. And for those of you that are still looking forward to bringing more children to the world, or you have young ones and you want them to be good ones too, protecting your eyes not only has an impact, but has literally a direct connection to what kind of kids you're going to have. A father who guards his eyes will merit raising his children without suffering. He will merit healthy and successful children. Here you're getting a promise. For what? For helping yourself. This was the secret that made Avraham Avinu. We saw how Avraham Avinu distinguished himself from every person that ever lived. And until this day, Am Yisrael benefits from it. If a person wants to have the benefit of being connected to Avraham Avinu, they must protect their brit. They must protect their brit, which means they must protect their eyes. If a person does everything that the sages teach, they're going to have a filter on every part of their soul by default. That's really where a person should get themselves to. Constantly be involved in mitzvot. Even if you're at work, even if you're with the family, even if you're with kids, look for opportunities to connect everything to mitzvot. And if you really do that, you'll be able to succeed in protecting your neshama by protecting your eyes. And if you're protecting your eyes, certainly many blessings will follow. We are meant to be a light unto the nations, not to follow their misguided practices. Remember, every Jew has to remember that he's a Jew and she's a Jew. We don't celebrate non-Jewish holidays, even if they seem harmless. It's a zilzul disrespect to the Torah and could lead to Chilul Hashem, desecration of God's name. Stick to our holy Torah and our own holidays. That's the path of a true Jew.